A Dane in Winchester? These are strange times.
King Alfred sent me, pleading from his bended knee to find someone.
I know Alfred well enough to spot a bloody lie when I hear it. If he did send you, he was standing tall and proud.
That he was, and you are the man I've come to find, Goodwin. Do you know why?
If I had one guess, to find these heretics from the Order of Ancients, and bury them so deep, even God would need a shovel.
So where do we start digging?
My research should help us. If they haven't burned it already, it'll be somewhere nearby.
I will find your research. Now go before they find their wolf has fled his cage. Goodwin's research against the Order of Ancients.
I am grateful for your help.
It is a brazen move to arrest Alfred's favorite reeve.
This so-called order are nothing but deviled shit peddlers.
Shit peddlers who have wormed their way into every crevasse of your country. They are dangerous.
I didn't catch your name, did I?
Eivor, of the Raven clan. Scourge of Mercia, if that name does not rattle some recognition.
Well, Eivor, when our three heretics smolder on a heap of ash, we'll down a cup of ale together and share our distaste of Mercians like old friends.
Alfred believes at least one is dead. Your Bishop Aelfirth was the sixth.
Bugger. Half of Winchester is in mourning for that nun-groper.
One calls himself the Quill. Are words his weapons?
There were rumors of letters nailed up around Winchester. It may be that one of these can tell us more.
The gallows. What do you know of him?
Must be another reeve, I'm sure of it. Only we have the power to mete out justice, and this one would walk with cocksure righteousness.
The gallows had you arrested, so he must command the law.
Reeve Selwyn? Of course! That hedge pig has brought down laws like a hammer on Winchester, executing sinners on spurious charges in the square.
Could it be another?
He's the man. He's the only one who fits. End his terror, Eivor.
Winchester mourns a good bishop and a strong, virile man. May he find his peace with God.
Good people of Winchester, open your eyes. See how Alfred's lofty ideals are weighed down in this mire of human effluence. These prisoners before you do not live by Alfred's laws. They live above them. They wallow in shit, only guided by their own perversity. Hubert here, his wits addled by ale, spoke false of Bishop Aelfirth, our pious servant of Winchester, who even now lies cold in his grave shroud.
Aelfirth was no man of God. He'll burn for his sins.
Your wife is obeying shrew, Hubert. Is there a man here who has not supped rancid mead from her cup?
When will your work be done, Selwyn? When all of Winchester falls to your justice?
Winchester has passed judgment, Hubert. May God have mercy on your cankerous soul. There are rats in the grain store, and Alfred has set the traps. You cannot steal and be welcome at our hearts. You cannot slander and keep your tongue. You cannot walk freely through our streets, mocking our laws, our king's edicts. And so I ask, who has the right to determine the fate of the perverse if not the goodly people of Winchester? I am but your humble servant.
Perverter of justice. Who dares execute the king's noose?
It is not in Alfred's name that you carry out your work. You are the Order's executioner.
You peer through the veil, but you do not see clearly. Alfred's laws are a slave's fever dream. He offers shit-soaked beggars a seat at his table, where the meek devour the strong. Who best to judge the fate of the wretched many, if not the strong and worthy few?
To protect your people, you must sheathe your hand in an iron glove. You grind your heels into the backs of freedmen, not those who deserve it.
The Order condemns all men to pain. For all men are but a shadow of the perfection we should know. The perfection of the Ancient Ones.
You are only a man, Reed. One dead branch and a fast-dying tree. I should meet with Goodwin, see what he has found on the quill.
A cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. Does Magister Batter not teach you the scriptures?
Magister Batter is a horse's dangles.
And here is the axe I used to swat a fly.
You have ventured from your burrow?
And you have plunged my city into chaos. I had hoped you would use the lessons of your subtler gods.
We have no subtle gods.
If the gallows is truly dead, perhaps we can allow cautious revelry?
Sweep your own hearth, Alfred, if you do not like my broom.
Forgive my outburst. God sowed in me a passion, but English prose is an instrument long out of tune.
We all want better for our people, don't we, Eivor? Yours and ours.
The quill remains. What do we know?
The decay of learning has been gentle in Wessex. We enjoy the office of wise men, but we have neglected the study of wisdom.
The quill preys on this lapse.
Someone disagrees with your reforms, Alfred, and he is calling the children to arms.
Now we know why so many children scurry through the streets, feral and untutored.
I can talk to some, see where they lead me.
Good. Find me at the alehouse when you're done. And try not to scare the piss from any of them.
We Norse are the monsters of your Saxon mother's bedtime tales. I promise nothing. I see you, child. Come.
The bad Reeve, Selwyn. I saw you punish him in the square.
He hurt many people.
Yes. He hurt my mother to death. Then took her good luck charm. Perhaps you found it? A little carved tree. It is all I have to remember her by.
Such a sad story. Take this. Perhaps it will keep you off the streets and out of trouble.
For me? Oh, thank you.
Spry, little mouse. Will you lead me to your quill? Heaven will swallow the smoke.
Very poetic. But he's going to...
Get off me, you oaf!
Godspeed! You'll set Winchester ablaze!
Roly-poly mutton man, you can't catch me!
God help me. I'd rather be shoveling dung in Malvern again.
Stop it, you frumpkin! If he falls, God will punish
on!
you again? You should mind your own beeswax.
Elwyn, is it? You wield fire like the flaming Jotnar.
It was burning when I found it. Hot days like this, things just go whoosh. Well? Oi! Wigbert! You great moon calf!
Hand it over, Alwyn. We saw your little shadow take it. What you looking at?
I'm not sure. Looks like an old lady's been rolling in shit with all the other ugly sows. A hug and a dress, maybe?
Goodbye!
Trouble seems to follow you.
And I wriggle out of it like a slippery eel. Why are you following me?
What is so important that you would risk his little neck for it?
Keep your sticky beak out of our business.
Whose business? The Quills?
Us? Working for the Quill? Shows what you know.
Is that so?
I am innocent as a lamb. They were the Quill's thugs and you killed them. Wouldn't want to be in your boots.
It sounds like you owe me your life.
This one's brave and strong. Might be able to help us.
So you're not working for the Quill?
We steal to stay alive and out of the Quill's clutches.
But you know where I can find him.
They come up from the sewers like rats. Go on, give him what you took. Maybe he can save us. Good luck, Dane. Try not to get maimed and all that.
I should watch out for a mousetrap.
I didn't get nothing today. I'm going to marry King Alfred. The pretty things, and he's going to whisk me away from stealing this toil. Everyone died and left me alone on the streets.
Come, child. Whisper what you've learned, and Mother will give you a treat.
Coward. Using children to spy and steal for your order.
To educate them. Give me a child until he is 7, and I will give you the man. Or woman. What use are letters when a child can only write his name in pig shit? Or wisdom in a woman when she cannot wield it beyond her hearth? I taught little Alwyn so much more. Saved her from a life less worthy. She will find enlightenment in the Order, just as I did. If I could save them all, I would.
But you cannot. You have corrupted too many to save too few.
My Order is the only way forward. It can quench our thirst for knowledge. If only Alfred's slave faith is defeated! And what would you sacrifice for infinite knowledge?
An immeasurable gift. Why refuse it?
Not their innocence.
A pity. Non requiescat in pace.
Goodwin said to meet him at an alehouse nearby.
Feeling a bit dry over here.
Eivor!
Is this where Justice hides when she is tired?
Hides? Splood, no. This is a wake, my friend. A celebration to ease the quill on her way to eternal damnation.
You heard.
Hilda's were not the only eyes in Winchester. My spies tell me stories of an avenging angel striking down the unworthy.
I've been called worse.
Be thou hail, Eildorbana. That's Life Destroyer in our dialect.
I sat easy with my kinsbane, old honey waves alive in my horn, and my eyes on the door, expecting my death, yet unafraid.
You're quite safe with me, Dane. For now. If the mead is fresh and the air is cool, you may often find a friend even amongst your enemies.
What does a reeve do, exactly, besides sniff around the king's coattails for the scent of praise?
I enforce and interpret the laws here. Not man's, but God's law. The natural laws that move the world and hold it together.
Well, if that keeps you busy.
I must thank you before the ale dulls me. By cutting the Order down to size, you have given England a hope of unity. It must be a sour apple to swallow, knowing that you are the last of Winchester's enemies.
Are you sure the Sikhs is dead?
The bishop is dead, that's certain. And if the bishop was the Sikhs is dead. A transitive property of mortality, you see.
I do not believe it. Too much theatre in Winchester. Overwrought prayers and wailing women.
Well, you could pay your respects and see for yourself. The funeral is today.
If he rots, I will leave with my silver. But if he lives, there's work to be done.
Watch your step, Eivor. He'll be a hefty corpse in death. Alive, he'd be much bigger. Whether you find or make a corpse, meet me at the Witten with your report.
Did you know Bishop Eilfirth?
Barely. But can you still smell the burned flesh? It's rife across the whole graveyard.
Do you not see? I am in prayer.
May we speak of your brother's death?
Have you no shame? Leave me.
I will leave you in peace, then. These clothes do not seem to fit this frail body. And this corpse's build is slight, frail. Goodwin said Eilfir was a brute.
Stranger comes to Wember.
You do not mourn like they do.
Wember is always here, helping the sleeping, singing to them, so they are not frightened before they meet God.
The sleeping? You mean the dead?
Wember helps the monks. Dig, dig, dig.
You dig the graves. Did you bury Eilfir?
Have you seen Leof? My poor friend. Poor Leof.
Leof? What happened to him?
Sleeping. Sleeping like my dog when I hugged him too hard.
Someone heard Leof. I saw a pile of dirty clothes just here. Is your friend Leof a beggar?
Yes. Yes. And while he slept, they stole his face.
Not just stolen, but burned. This funeral was a shadow play. The Order killed an innocent, burned his face so no one could tell, and interred him in Eilfir's place. His sister knows more than she lets on.
What now?
A pretty show you have laid on here. But I know the truth.
You would dare speak to me? When my poor brother Eilfir lies cold in his shroud.
Your brother is the Sikhs, and no more dead than I am.
Heresy. My brother was the Bishop of Winchester.
When Goodwin got too close to the truth about your brother's place in the Order, you buried him. Or rather, you buried another in his place. The poor gravedigger's friend. Burning his face so no one would know.
How did you... No, I...
Your brother is not in that crypt. Tell me where he is before more lives are lost.
I will not tell you anymore. Guards! All right, have your way. They won't do you any good. Guards, protect me! Why will you not leave me alone?
Enough of this cat and mouse. Where's your brother, the one they call the Sikhs?
He is a ghost now. But he will make himself flesh once more at the Witten. And Alfred will be king no more.
He means to kill Alfred.
Regicide? No. The king will step aside and Eilfir will lead us all. Risen and resplendent as the Lord.
You are a damned fool.
Anglo-Saxons prospered in both war.
The Sikhs must be hiding in the crowd, biding his time to strike at Alfred.
Not priest, clerk, or abbot can turn the letter of their sermons from Latin to English. And how can we understand God's...
Alfred needs to produce an heir. It's the duty of all great men.
And we mourn him. But the foul deeds of the unrighteous are sown among our holy deeds, like cockles and tare in a field of wheat. Education, wisdom, enlightened thought. This will raise us above the sins of our fathers.
These reforms are duly needed. As long as the Crown pays, he can do what he likes.
Discuss all worthy candidates, and choose the man who will shepherd our flock.
How sweet is the shepherd's pipe when he calls his lambs to slaughter. I was born to Christians in the northern wilds. My mother would cradle me beneath the stars and whisper, dove-like, God watches over you. Then your people came, and God fixed his stout eye as they slit her throat for a copper ring. No stars threw down their spears as barbarians smeared her blood through fields of broken wheat. God watched all, and I hated him.
It may be Alfred's god was testing you. A trial you failed.
Alfred's god is weak. Yet he would chain us all in his service, from our first breath to our death rattle. My order wishes to break these mind-forged manacles. I am the wolf in lamb's wool.
He takes on the role of a god himself. A worthy path to walk. A wolf is but a walking feast for ravens.
One more gift for you, Dane. A deadly truth, if you can find it. With my death, the Order will not die. It will only transform into something far worse for all of us.
Eilfirth will not cheat Loki's dread daughter twice.
I owe you my life.
An irony not lost on me, Alfred.
My king, we'll go by back streets to the Old Minster. Eivor may find us there when all has settled.
Eilfirth, my love! No! Curse you, Dane! My brother served God.
He wrapped himself in a death cloak to murder your king.
Shouldn't you rejoice at the death of a king? You are a heathen and a devil.
We both have more questions than answers. But if you know this key, perhaps we can help one another. Where is its home?
You treated me with kindness, but this damned order, their machinations killed my brother, so the rest may rot. Take this key to the ruins beneath the bishop's house. You may find answers there.
If Eilfirth's sister spoke true, I will find answers in the ruins. This must be it. The door to Eilfirth's secrets. I will send this to Hytham. He may make some sense of it.
Come forth, Eivor.
Here is far enough.
When wrongdoers came to devour my flesh, these enemies stumbled and fell.
Have the laws of hospitality been thrown out, Alfred? I did exactly as we agreed.
That you did. But do not mistake necessity for friendship.
You are a man of your word, a man of God.
Indeed. By his example, I live my life. Goodwin?
Here is the only silver fit for one of your dragon boats. A reminder of Christ's sacrifice and our charity.
This too I offer you. Live here among us in peace as a Christian, or die a pagan in a blood-soaked field. All you have to lose is life everlasting.
And if I choose neither?
He offers you hope, Eivor. A life of purpose, above and beyond this one. You'd be a fool to refuse.
Your reign will end, King of the